Hello! It's Sunday. Have not been productive today at all. Have not been productive today at all. I took a nap. That happened. So just getting on here to see what questions we have. We started in a new book, and that is exciting. So started our new book, ended a book. So just want to get on here and see how everybody was doing, see how everybody was feeling. I'm sure, and I've seen in the Facebook group, I'm just going to clarify this. I'm tired of typing it over and over. Melinda and Melanie are not sisters, guys. They're not sisters. Mary Beth and Melinda are twins, and they are Ben and Esther McAllister's daughters. They're Melanie's aunts. Melanie doesn't have a sister. She has 2 older brothers. Now, feel free to correct anybody that says otherwise, because I've tried and it's not working. So, I know there are a lot of kids. So, hi, Andrea. Hi. I don't know what your name is, but it shows as Ragdoll on here, but hi, Ragdoll. I'm pretty sure Allison is here, so hi, Allison. Hi, Joanne. Love the new book. I'm glad you like the new book. I've said on here, and I'm still worried that people are just going to want to rush through these books to get to Alexander's story. But as you can see, there are things that need to be discussed before we get there. So they're going to be what they are. And people can deal. That's where I'm at. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Allison. I have to know what made you kill Cassandra. I can't tell you that. So I'm sure you would love to know that, but I can't tell you why she is dead. So I will tell you it had to happen. Did you always plan on killing Cassandra, or did you decide after we all hated her? No, I didn't plan to kill her. Exactly. I was trying to figure out how a different plot line could go, and the only way that I could get it to work was for her to die. So it wasn't because people don't like her. It was just because, I was trying to figure out how this was going to work in the story, the way that I wanted this particular plot line to go, and she had to go. It was really the only way. So it's just how the story was going to have to go. Hi, Levon. But no, it's not because people didn't like her. There's more to her death. No, she's just dead, guys. It's just an accident. I realized that in my books, normal things don't always happen normally, but Cassandra, truly, it was an accident. And I also saw this. Bexley can't shift into an animal. She's a chameleon. She can take on the appearance of a person, but Bexley cannot shift into a deer, and she probably wouldn't. So, Cassandra's was just an accident. She, to me, her death was so Cassandra because she has grandkids that could all snap or conjure her whatever she wanted for her stupid garden. Haley keeps her garden alive. She doesn't need anything for it, but she got in an accident and died because of her garden. So I just thought that was so Cassandra. It really, truly was an accident, guys. I know that in my books, there's always these things happen. You're like, what happened? But sometimes, I have to throw in this was truly just an accident. Just, keep everybody on your toes. Oh no, Amanda can't make it today. I can't wait for Alexander's book, but I'm all about Elise and EJ. They're cute. They are so cute, and they just get cuter, guys. I think someone had a hand in killing her. Cassandra? No. Cassandra was legit just an accident, guys. It was a deer and her own stupidity. That's it. Good afternoon, Mandy. Hi, Danielle. I was waiting a few days until reading, but now I need to read. Oh, there were spoilers here if you haven't read. Hi, Kimber. Hi, Nicole. But yeah, if you haven't read EJ's book, stop watching this. But yes. So hi, Lucy. Nice to see you. How do you come up with? Do you love the crazy theories that your fans come up with? I do. I do love seeing some stuff on there. I think, yeah, I do love it. Sometimes I'm like, wow, no, that's not where this is going at all. And sometimes I'm like, okay, well, we somewhat got it there. But yeah. We're gonna see this on Elisa's side, but Drake and Sam did not just leave Melanie alone. She's 9 years old. There was a babysitter, you guys. Like, come on now. They're overprotective of her. That's kind of an overarching theme with werewolves. They're very protective of their daughters. But at the same time, Elise told us that Drake has had Tristan and Jason training since they could walk. Like, that's not common. The boys don't usually start training that early. He's been training them since they could walk because he's concerned. So it's not just Melanie he's concerned about. He's just being overprotective about Melanie, because that's kind of just like an overarching theme you see with the dads in this series. They're all about their little girl. I'm so curious what's going on with Drake and Sam. Like, okay, guys, we need to calm down about Drake and Sam. We need to see Elisa's side before we get all up on Sam and Drake. There are things going on, okay? Y'all need to calm down about Sam and Drake and what's going on with them. There are things going on. There are things going on. Like, Danielle, I assume this is about, you're asking what's going on with them. I assume this is about the text to Eric, right? Let me know if that's correct or not. Will we get to know Cassandra's last moments before the car accident? I mean, someone can certainly request that. Someone can request Haley's side. Totally fine with that. I actually thought people might. Are we going to see why people lied about Melanie? Did they? Do we know that they did? Or is there hints that something is going on, you guys? Because we've heard Melanie's side. We've heard Melanie's side. She says they're lying. She says she didn't do it. But we know that things aren't always what they seem. Now, is Melanie lying? Did she cross the border? No, Melanie didn't cross the border. Does that mean the other people are lying about seeing her? Does it? We'll see. I've also seen people saying, like, why wouldn't Sam and Drake believe their daughter? They had 5 adults, 5 warriors running the border, and several other pack members say that she did. And they knew she wanted to go to the Connors party. So, I mean, I think that's understandable. I think they want to believe her. But it's also believable that she would cross the border and then lie because she didn't want to get in trouble because she wanted to go to the party. So, correct. Okay, so I am correct. You want to know about the text, guys? Just wait for Lisa's side on Monday. Questions will be answered about the text messages and what's going on. I think there's witchiness afoot. We shall see. Witches, blind ditches, you know. Witches and warlocks, y'all, buckle up. That's all I have to say about where this is going. Everybody buckle in. Let's see. Okay. Are they being spelled? As of this moment, no. Just wait for Elisa's side, guys. There's something else going on, okay? I promise. There are other things going on. Just wait for Elisa's side, and I'm sure everybody's going to scream that everybody needs to talk to everybody, but as an overarching theme, communication is not people's strong points in this book. It's something that everybody works on, because to me that's very real. Like, and I've also seen people blaming Emmeline and Haley, and that shit stops right now. Our original Haley does not know that Alexander's mate is going to be having problems. She thinks it's his mate, but she does not know. Emmeline had a flash, but she did not tell Haley that. Also, we are at the point where Emmeline doesn't have to tell people they're mates. And it was said in Lexi's book and outright stated in this book that Alexander didn't want to know. So Emmeline can know and not tell him. This is not what is going to happen is not Haley or Emmeline's fault, and I will personally come at anyone who says that it is. Okay, going back to the questions, getting off of my rant soapbox. Don't come for Haley or Emmeline, people. It's not their fault. And I've also seen people saying, how can Emmeline not have met Melanie? Well, as we saw in the last chapter, she had to because she went to the house to get a picture. So now she has met her. How she hasn't met her, as Elise said, it's a weird series of coincidences that someone should ponder. Just a thought. Somebody should ponder that. So it's not that Sam and Emmeline haven't seen each other. They have, but Melanie's never been with her. So yes, as a parent myself, I have other parents who I'm friends with. I have my friends that have kids, and our kids haven't met. I haven't seen them. We don't live in the same place. I understand they can pop and everything, but there are things going on with that. And there are reasons that this is happening that somebody should really think about, but they're not going to. And that is annoying, but they're not going to. So, but it's, with kids, once you have kids and, you don't live in the same place as somebody, like Chelsea knows Melanie. They live in the same place. Everybody in Melanie's pack knows who Melanie is. They've all met her. But, if you don't live in the same place as somebody who has kids, it's not insane that Emmeline hasn't met her. So let's all back off of Emmeline and Haley. Okay. I was thinking someone knows she's the white wolf and they're setting her up. Well, no. I'll just say that. No, it's not a bad theory. It's really not, but no. Hi. Well, we can't help that we are so addicted to the river novels that we want everything at once. Oh no, I understand. I do too. I'm getting super hyped. I'm sure, as you guys can tell, I'm getting super hyped about Alexander's story. Calm down. Okay, calm down, Amanda. Don't tell him all the things. Breathe. Okay, continuing. Are they being spelled? I think I answered this. At this point, let's just wait for Lisa's side. We'll chat on Sunday. I don't think anyone's going to think that that's a thing at the moment. So we'll just table that question for Monday. I'm assuming that Melanie is the white wolf, and from Dylan's parents' legends explanation, some of it makes sense, but we will see. We will see. Natasha. Hi, Natasha. Okay. Everyone not seeing Melanie in the picture. I assume she is in them, and only Red Run can see them, which is why Emmeline was looking weirdly at the picture. Joanne, that is an astute observation that we will get an answer to on Monday. Okay, let's see. Are we going to see more of the Hakura cousins like Logan's team and Baby ETC? We will see some of them. We will get more of them as we get into the kids' books. But yes, some of them are definitely about to, portal around. I was going to say pop up, but then that wasn't as punny as I wanted it to be. So I went with portal. I probably should have just said they're going to pop up. They're going to portal around. Allison is ready and excited for the drama. Oh, it is coming. It is coming. Guys, it is so coming. I love seeing how excited you get about the story. You guys, I have no chill. I have been so excited since I started this prologue. My husband's like, you need to calm down. And I'm like, you don't understand. Okay. Continuing. You were right when you said a lot of things are going on in EJ's book. You guys, I don't think I'm being dramatic when I say this, but the amount of things going on in EJ's book do not compare to the amount of things that are going to go down in Alexander's book. I'm telling you, just buckle in. I read the outline and I'm like, this is going to be a lot of words. A lot of words. Okay. When we get to Alexander's book where we see his point of view from why he was so upset during this time. We are going to, no, his book is going to jump in where we leave off, either EJ's book or Cassie's book. I think they're both going to end around the same point. Cassie's book, we're going to have to go back a little bit because we are going to have to talk about her and her mate's story. Alexander does explain some things because I've seen people asking questions that the answers are going to come out to about him and what his stuff. Does that mean people on here can't request his side once we hear him explain things? You can absolutely do that on here. I would be surprised if people don't. But we will hear, because it's said in the epilogue of Raised to Cura that Eric says Alexander doesn't tell EJ what's going on until Elise's Luna ceremony. So they, in typical Connors tradition, that's not going to go down how normal things go down with like other pacts. So it's new and different for them. So we'll see how all that plays out. But at that point, we hear a little bit more from Alexander about what has been going on in his own mind. Now, the way that I wrote the scene with him and Robert and what was going on there, that is intended to be an outtake. I'll just tell you that right now. It's an intention. I fully believe someone will request it on here, but the intent of that is to be an outtake. So I'll just say that. But yeah, once we get to the point where he's admitting to EJ and how all that, oh gosh, guys, that whole thing is dramatic. Drama. That whole thing is dramatic, but Alexander does finally kind of tell EJ, what's been going on in his own mind and from his side of things. So we do hear a little bit about that. Obviously not in the detail we would as if it was from his point of view, but he does come clean with his brother and he tells him what's going on. So, well, not only his brother, but Elise, because Elise is there. So, but he views Elise as a sister. So, I can't believe Eric and Haley have 20 kids in 14 years. Yep. Cranking them out, you guys. Really excited that Angela is here. Obviously we've got some setup for and foreshadowing going on with that stuff. So, guys, so dramatic. Okay. Tell us all the things. I'm telling you guys a lot of things. I literally have no chill right now. Like I just woke up from a nap and I'm like, let's spill the tea. Okay. What's the deal with Melinda? She seems more imaginary than Melanie. No, EJ's met her. EJ met her, has known her the whole time. He pops in and out. Ray knows her. So Melanie is like, obviously we're laying down the tracks. Eric has stated that she's kind of a genius. That's not even kind of, she is a genius. And she's also somewhat of a musical prodigy. She plays the guitar. She can sing a little bit. But Melinda is really good at the piano. So she's not imaginary. But not a lot of people have met her because she's really busy all the time. But it was said in Lexi's epilogue, Emmeline has met her. And yeah, Melinda and Mary Beth came to Blue Moon. And they had just met her recently because Ben McAllister was a little protective about them for a while. So at the end of Lexi's book, Emmeline had just met them. So is Robert like Elise's Wyatt to Sophia? That's actually a very good comparison. I've seen some other ones, but the Wyatt to Sophia, that's a pretty good comparison of how Robert feels about Elise. Robert's a little bit different, obviously, because he's got some possessive thing going on for Melanie that he's really not even admitting to himself. But he kind of did in this last chapter when Cassie made him. So I don't really know if that's admitting it exactly because Cassie made him. But yeah, so he's a little bit different than Wyatt because Wyatt was solely focused on Sophia. But yeah, Robert's got stuff going on. Marnie, hi Marnie. Okay, let's come back over here. Will EJ and Cassie's book be as long as the previous books? I don't know. When I start a book, I don't know. I don't have chapters listed out. I have outline points. So I don't ever actually know when I start a book how long it's going to be. I'm fairly confident saying Cassie's book will be the shortest of all of them. I've still got a lot to get through. In EJ's book, they're going to be 24, 25 years old when his book is closing, because there's a few things that we need to get through. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if their story will be as long as like Haley's or Emmeline's or Lexi's. It might be something close to around Raised to Cure It. It could be shorter. I don't know. We'll have to see where we get. Because like this last one, it was 4 parts. Because I mean, there was a lot happening in that 14-year-old year. So we'll have to see where that goes. But yeah, we'll see where the chapters end up at. Robert seems like another Noah. Hopefully he grows up and makes better decisions. Absolutely, he is still a kid. He's 14 too. We'll have to see what he does. But yeah, like I said, the Wyatt Sophia thing, that's a fairly good comparison of what his is. But like I said, he's different because he's got his group of friends that, you know, he can't leave Melanie alone about her wolf. That again is a toy. It's a toy. It's not charmed. There's nothing going on with this toy. EJ's like looked at it and was like, that's a toy. Like Peter said, Peter took it to Emmeline's brothers. So he took it to Emmeline's brothers. Is there something wrong with this thing? And he had Chelsea take it to Emmeline and ask her. And Emmeline was like, no, there's nothing wrong with this toy. It's a toy. It's just straight up a toy, guys. Stuffed animal. Nothing going on with the toy. How old are Mary Beth and Melinda? So Mary Beth and Melinda, guys, you're going to make me do math. I believe they were 2. So they were in the heat that Haley caused when she got her wings. So trying to, they might actually be a little older. So Lexi's book ended 6 years later. So I believe they were 5 at that time. They were 5. AJ was 7. So they are 2 years younger than the triplets. If I'm wrong, somebody can correct me on the math. Math is not my strong suit. Don't ask me how I got through like college calculus. I did somehow, and now I can't do like basic math. I really don't know how that works out. As I'm sure you can all tell, it's like I had 9 Hakura brothers. It was always 9, and for some reason I got it in my head that it was 8, because apparently I can't count. I don't know what that is. I'm actually good at math. But then I have to do it, and I like do simple addition mistakes. It's a little sad. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little sad. But I swear, normally I'm good at math. But so they would be 12, pretty sure. I think they're 12 at this point. If I'm wrong, someone can correct me. I'm not gonna be mad. Editing and math, not my things. Back here, okay. Levon and Ramon are on team Me Tell You Everything. Guys, I am in a great mood. So you ask questions. I have no poker face whatsoever. None. Okay, I already answered that. Robert reminds me of Al. Al, you mean the diner guy? The diner guy is so sweet. Dylan is happy about his daughter being mated to Eric's son, but is there any part of him that is upset, or is that reserved for all of us? I'm not sure I understand the question. Levon can. So Dylan is not upset about it at all. Dylan's not actually upset at the alphas either. Dylan just likes messing with them, especially Eric. He thinks it's fun. Him and Eric are friends. Like in all realities, they are friends. They're just kind of that group of guys that they mess around. They give each other a hard time. Eric's way serious and Dylan is so not. So they're kind of a bit of polar opposites there. And Dylan has like a personal mission to like make Eric have fun. That's like his personal mission. And he finds it so fun to get under his skin. And, eventually he does, and Eric retaliates, and they start back over at square one. They are friends, though. Like how the alphas get upset or bothered knowing that their daughters have mates at such a young age. Oh, no, Dylan lives for it. Dylan is all about the fairies, and he is all about Emmeline telling whoever she can about their mates. Now, would he have been upset if he didn't like Buttercup's mate? Yes, he would have been upset. He is still protective of his daughter, but he is happy knowing who her mate is, knowing that they have good parents. They're going to be around. He's going to be an influence in their life. He is happy that his daughter will be close by. So there are factors in that. If Emmeline had been like, oh, it's this guy from, Nashville's pack, would Dylan have been happy? No. Or, Missouri or Louisiana. Dylan would not have been happy about any of those things, but who it worked out being, that's why Dylan is happy. So let me know if that answers your question. The Alpha Tabitha, what? The Alpha Tabitha. Oh, okay. Tabitha's Alpha Al. Okay. I'm, guys, like, in my mind, Ray's Takira's like on the shelf, and I'm now like immersed in original reality. Whew, he's in our original reality. We just haven't talked about him. But yeah, he's kind of along those same lines. That is a very good comparison. Monica, Al from Tabitha's old pack, and Robert. That's a good comparison. That is a good comparison. It's crazy how all these people feel entitled to certain females, Reagan, Haley, Lexi, like what gives them the right? Question cuts off. Hold on. What gives them the right to these women, they aren't their mates, men? So that's kind of a theme that I think we see. We see these, like, people are attracted to these women who are powerful. They don't take crap from anybody. They can handle their own. So it's something that, no, they're not other people's mates, but people want them because they are, they're badass females who do their own shit. They're all attractive. And they're not the type, none of them are the type to lay down and take something. And people are drawn to that and the power that they have. But it is annoying. But it's one of those facets that I brought into this because I think you see it a lot. Like, we always see, like, women want Eric and all that. They're drawn to his power, and it's the same with the females. I wanted that to be the same across the board. Like, Claudia was obsessed with Eric. Christy was obsessed with Lucas. And then on the flip side, you have people who are obsessed with the girls, too. And I want things to be equal that way because I think a powerful woman is just as attractive as a powerful man. And in Haley's spot, like, she would be well sought after. Like, she is a double princess. No matter what happened to her in her childhood, no matter what you saw her at, she is still a double princess. And even before you knew she was a double princess, you knew she was a princess. And that's something that people want, especially in the supernatural world, to possess and things like that. So that's kind of why that is that way. Do any of Haley's kids have the sight power as well as Angela, either Max or Preston? So no. Angela is the only kid with sight. As we saw, Preston kind of gets like intuitive feelings about things. It's not quite sight. He doesn't see things. He just knows things and feels them. So that's what's the deal with that. And I'm just going to say there are going to be things that happen and mates that happen and people are going to be like, how has this happened? Have they not met? I have reasons and I have ways that they have not met. Okay. Just know I have reasons and there are ways. Are we going to meet Tabitha in OG? Yes, we are. We are going to meet Tabitha in the OG. Obviously not in Elise's chapter, but I think this next, we're going to jump to when they're 16. So there's a lot going on. I think I might put her in there. Obviously, we have Elise is going to shift for the first time, and EJ is absolutely going to be there. So we have that. There's a conversation coming up where Haley's going to talk about her past, and they're going to ask questions, and that's kind of a deep thing. So I'm not sure if she's going to be in the next chapter. She's either going to be in the 16 chapter or the one after, but we will find out about her. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack for when we go. It'll be Tuesday. So a lot to unpack for Tuesday and kind of a heavy thing of stuff going on. So, because like obviously you've got that conversation, and I think that is a hard conversation because it's filled with people they love. They love their Uncle Aiden. They love him. And so that's, there are hard things with that conversation, and to know that that's something that happened to your mom, and they're obviously going to have questions. And, Cassie, when she's 14, she decided she wanted to spend a month in Frey, and obviously like her family's going to go see her, and Eric's going to be there quite a bit. And even Haley's going to go see her. But yeah, like Haley has that ability to lock parts of herself away. They know she's upset, but they don't know why. So yeah, they'll find a little bit more about that. So it's just, it's a hard conversation. And it's a hard conversation. So that's in there. Haley's pregnant with twins in Lexi's episode. Was that Theo and Maverick? Okay, hold on. Let me look. Okay. Sometimes I get them wrong, you guys. I have them all written out. I should start writing like whether they're twins or triplets. Because again, math, guys. Okay, so in Lexi's epilogue. Okay, so she had she had them. They're twins. They're triplets. Theo. Yes, it is Theo and Maverick. Okay, pretty sure that I did that right in my list. So Parker, Cole, and Calvin are triplets. Hold on. Okay. Yes. So we have EJ, Alexander, and Cassie. They're triplets. Max and Wesley are twins. Preston, William, and Julian are triplets. Theo and Maverick are twins. Parker, Cole, Calvin, triplets. And then Brody, Tim, and Grant. Nope. Hold on. Triplets. Twins. Triplets. Twins. Ugh, guys, why do I do this to myself? Okay, so obviously Angela and Toby are twins. Bryce, Grant, and Angela and TJ are twins. And then we have Bryce, Grant, and Bradley, triplets. And then we have... And then Brody and Tim are twins. And then Parker, Cole, and Calvin are triplets. Got it. So, guys, sometimes when I write their names, I like sit here and I'm like, hold on, who is with who? Obviously, as you can see, sometimes I like go over it multiple times in my brain. I should write it down. That would be easier, but then that would be no fun. The Hakura can blend into the background. Is that just a natural trait, or is it something they have the ability they can learn to do? So it's kind of both. It is a natural trait that comes naturally to them, but it is a power that they possess. Alien X's as mate surprised me. I thought that might surprise a few people, but remember, in our original reality, nothing happened with Haley and Exodus in our original reality. I thought that would surprise a few people. I was surprised more people did not have comments about that. I'm not going to lie. How does Melanie know what 3 Alexanders are mate? I can't answer that question. I know she may not know for certain, but she definitely acts like it. But she definitely acts like he is. When they haven't met, I'm fine waiting for Alexander's book for my answer. That's a good thing, Joanne. It's a good thing that you're willing to wait for that answer, because I can't answer that question. So, just like some partials have abilities, will a partial Hakura be able to fade into the background? Yes, all of them can do that. They have to be taught, whereas a full-blooded Hakura, it's just natural to them. But yes, a partial Hakura can fade into the background if they are taught how. How old are Alien Exis at the moment? Oh gosh, Exis is younger than Aiden. Ailey, okay, hold on, math again. So Ailey is 6 in Haley's book. So she's 6. So she's 20, right? Because she's 6 before the triplets are born. So she's 20. I'm pretty sure she's 20. Somebody tell me if I'm doing math wrong. It's a lot of math for one life, guys. Will Haley's kids have to go to the Hakura realm for training? Do they have to? No. Will they? Yeah, they go back and forth. Even That wasn't EJ and Lisa's first time in the Hakira realm. Alexander spends time there training. 20 is correct. Yes, thank you. Somebody double checking my math. Joanne for the win. But Alexander does spend a decent amount of time there, just because, as it said, he's a very strong fighter. And one of the only people that can kind of keep up with him is Eric and Bjorn and Aaron. So Alexander's there a lot fighting because they're adept at fighting. He fights the guards. But yeah, like it said, Alexander can already beat his uncles in a fight, and they're alphas. Like, that's not an easy thing to do, but he can already do it. When Juliana takes a power and uses it, does it take the power temporarily? So yes, when Juliana takes somebody's power, they can't use it until in the determined amount of time. So if she uses it immediately, like the fireball, like Emmeline took the fireball and threw it back at somebody, that demon could have thrown the fireball had he not been hit with it. But obviously she took the power from him and set him on fire. So, but as soon as the power is used, they have it again. But while like Juliana or Emmeline, well, Emmeline can't do it anymore because it's Juliana's power. But while they have the power, so if she didn't like use it, if she took the fireball and then she hadn't used it, he wouldn't be able to use a fireball until Emmeline threw a fireball. So same with Juliana. If she takes somebody's power, they can't use it again until she uses it. Exis said he would have known Ailey since she was a baby, but since she didn't leave Foray until she was 5-ish, so was Exis not in Foray. So Exis got mad about Fabian. Because that's why he didn't know Ailey. He didn't hang out with Aiden for a while because all of the Fire Fae hated Fabian. And when Fabian got in good with the Halloran family, they, kept in touch by phone, but they didn't go see them because they didn't want to see him. Because a big part of them believed that Fabian killed Fenelton. And they loved Fenelton and his brother. So they believed that Fabian killed 2 of the Fire Fairy princes, but they couldn't prove it. So they kind of pulled away from a bunch of the Sky and Earth Faes. So they were trying to figure out proof. Exis was working really hard to prove that Fabian killed Fenelton. They just weren't able to definitively prove it, so they could bring it to Aiden. When Lucinda fled and left, nobody knew why. Nobody. Alania knew why. But like everybody was just confused at why she left. So that is when Exis kind of got back in touch with Aiden because he wanted to be there for his friend because everybody knew how much Aiden loved Lucinda. So they knew he was really upset about it. So after they left was when he got back in touch with her. And then, because he was trusted, Aiden had him doing stuff outside of Foray. So that's why he never met Ailey. Can Haley's kids that are influencers use their power on her? If so, would she know? No, you can't use the influencing power on the Truth Seeker. So it doesn't work on Cassie or Haley. Have I said which kids that is yet? Have I told you guys which group? There's 2 of them. Have I told you guys who they are? I can't remember if I've told everybody who are the influencers. The little troublemakers. No, I haven't. They're fun. It's one of the twins. One set of the twins is who are the influencers. Yeah, it's one of the group of twins. So evasive, so many twins. Actually, I think there are more triplets. I think, maybe. Okay. Yeah. You want to tell us. I mean, I don't really think there's harm in telling you guys. It's Theo and Maverick that are the influencers, and their power is kind of sneaky. So it's actually it's kind of funny how everybody finds out because it's not something that everybody knew right away. And it's not even something that they knew right away. It's, just little things like here and they're like, I want ice cream. And someone's like, no. And they're like, but I want ice cream. And they're like, okay, here's ice cream. You wanted ice cream. It's not even something like for a while that they were aware they were doing. They're just kids. Do the kids pull pranks on each other like Haley and her Akira brothers? Not quite like they did. They're not completely fae, but yeah, they get in their fairy side sometimes, especially the ones who are more fae. Juliana pulls a bunch of pranks on people. So she's more in touch with her fae side. So, will Nathan get a second chance mate? Okay. I waffle on that, you guys. It's not fully decided. It is something that is in a potential plot line. I have not decided. It's kind of a thing I have conversations with my characters. I don't know that Nathan himself has decided because I know not a lot of people like Cassandra, but he did. Like I said, there's a lot to their backstory. And he truly loved her. They had been together for a long time. So I don't know yet. We'll have to see. I don't know. And that plot line, that possible plot line, doesn't come out till a later story. So I still have time to decide. So, there's a lot of other plot points to get through before that would need to be decided. So, they all live for a really long time. I obviously not putting it off the table because, again, they're all going to live the life of a fairy. So, I mean, that's a long time for somebody to be alone. So, that just tells you where I'm leaning. They live for a really long time, guys. If Cassandra hadn't been so dumb, she would have lived for a really long time because they're going to be a fairy, and fairies live for centuries. So, that's a long time for somebody to be alone. So that's kind of where my head's at with that and that potential storyline. When one of the kids are old enough to enter the ribbon, will Haley and Eric stop entering, or maybe they can all enter together? So, no, you don't stop entering the ribbon once you're in the ribbon. Yeah. Could they all go together? Alexander and could they all go together? Please give him a lovely second chance, mate. Sorry, I lost my train of thought and started talking about something else. Oh gosh, what was I talking? What were we talking about? The ribbon? Okay, the kids and the ribbon. I started talking about something else completely. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. So Haley and Eric's ribbons are kind of separate from the other ones. They could go to realities that Haley has visited, but are they going to go together? Gosh, I don't know. We'll see. Could they? I mean, could they? Yeah. I mean, anything could happen. Will they go together? I don't know. We'll see. Give them a lovely second chance, mate. Like I said, it's a long time to be alone. So we'll see. Bye, Levon. But okay, I think I'm caught up on the questions. Alexander will go into the ribbon. We don't know that. I started talking about something else. I'm not gonna lie. I was about to answer a question that had not been asked. We will see where that goes. So yeah, I'm sorry if anybody thought that that's what I was saying. I started talking about something else completely. I totally lost my train of thought. Will you tell us which kids go into the ribbon? No, we'll find out. Yeah, we'll find out who it is. But yeah. Does Ray get a second chance mate? I really like him. We will see. He's kind of another one of those. He's joined the Connors pack. He's in the Connors pack. Right now his sole focus is on Elise. But yeah, we'll see where Ray's story goes. His backstory, he's one of those ones. He just gets ya. He's such a good guy, and he was just in a weak pack. He was one of the stronger ones, and like he said he should have left. It absolutely wasn't his fault. He was protecting the pack, but that's what happened, and it's too bad that he lost his family, but it brought him into our universe. So. I like that he is there as a support for Nathan. Yeah, I really love. They develop a friendship. If anybody wants to request an outtake scene of them together, they actually do become quite close friends. So yeah, especially once Elise is older. And he's back in the pack. Him and Nathan hang out quite a bit once Elise turns 18. So. But yeah. He's Elise's Blade with more words, yeah. But as we've seen, Blade does have more words, guys. He speaks fluent Latin. He just, in our original reality, mostly sticks to English because that's what Haley mostly speaks. So yeah. But yes, Ray and Blade, similar to what they are. Question from the original books. Why do Lucas and Alpha Theo hate each other? So that was actually talked about in Emlyn and Lucas's book and in the Ribbon reality. So what happened was Alpha Theo's brother was spelled, but they don't know that in the original reality right now. Alpha Theo's brother was spelled, and he took a member of Lucas's pack and raped her. And in response, he wouldn't give her back. And so Lucas killed him, which he was totally within his right to do, but it is Alpha Theo's brother. So that's why they don't get along. That's why they're not in an alliance. Alpha Theo is still in an alliance with Eric, but not with Lucas. He doesn't like him. He killed his brother. So that's why they don't like each other. When will we see Lisa meet her mate? Lisa has met her mate at this point in the books. We just didn't see it. I assume you mean the witch. The witch, Lisa. She's met her mate. Are we going to see Emlyn grant anybody a second chance mate apart from her dad? So we very well might. It's a bit of a touchy subject. So I know people are going to be like, why isn't she granting Nathan one? Well, Nathan doesn't want one right now. Emlyn would absolutely give Nathan another one if he wanted one. And it's not that she gets to pick who they are. She can just decide they get one. That's not to say that, goddesses give second chance mates. Like, it's just Emlyn can be like, yep, you get one for sure. One's coming. So it's just kind of if your mate dies, you're not sure if you'll get a second chance. Emlyn's just kind of like guaranteed, they're coming kind of a thing. Yes, one of the witches we like. Yes. Okay. So yes, Lisa has a mate. Lisa is mated to a warlock and they're happy. Will we see them? Yes. I'm just going to answer that question. Do we know the girl he raped? We do. She was the girl with them. So somebody's going to have to keep me honest. I believe her name in the first book is Rachel. She's with Lucas's group. She's the one who tells them what happened between Claudia and Haley. So somebody keep me honest, that's not her name, but that's who it was. So I'm pretty sure her name is Rachel. Will EJ's book include Haley and Emlyn removing the spell on Uncle Zader? So that would probably have to be an outtake because it has already happened at this point. So that happened when the triplets were 3. Because that's when she entered the reality for that. She's like, oh, I was here 3 years ago. And they're like, it's been 17 years. And she's like, oh, that's weird. But yes, that has already happened. He is fine now. He can, he goes into the realms. He's back doing missions. They did save him. And we'll see him. He comes to, we'll see him come to see So that's how, in my mind, like it was going to be known that he was okay. Was he's going to show up at some point and talk to his grandchildren in this realm. So, oh, Allison's back. Hi, Allison. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to ask all your questions. I'm guessing that Cassie's made as a fairy. That's a guess. That's a guess. There are options. So I'm curious why you're guessing that. If you want to tell me, you can. The girl in the bathroom from Lucas's pack, I believe her name is Denise. I'll go check. Really, I could swear it was Rachel. I don't know why. Just swear her name was Rachel. But you know, guys, that was a long time ago, and I wrote that a very long time ago. And I'm not there in edits yet, so maybe I'll change her name to Rachel. No, I'm kidding. If you guys can tell me it's not her, that's fine. Oh, we lost Allison again. Yeah, I don't think Rachel was the name. That's fine. That's who it is. I don't know why. I'm just stuck on her name being Rachel. I don't know why. I literally have no clue. If her name's not Rachel, that's okay. Gosh, now I'm curious. Keep asking questions, people. I will answer. Let's see. That's gonna be in... It's just a hunch. None of the kids that I know have a fairy mate. She's also going to spend time there soon. All right, Shannon. I feel like every time we do a live, I need to reread the book. Me too sometimes, not gonna lie. What outtakes are coming up? Oh, gosh. What was that? Hold on, guys. I'm in breakdown in communication because now I have to find this girl's name. Felicia. Everybody's wrong. Her name was not Denise or Rachel. Her name is Felicia. I was way off. Maybe her name should be Rachel. Somebody's going to be named Rachel, guys. Okay, the outtakes coming up. All right. Keep in mind, I will be here in the next couple of days reaching out to those with fan requests. This list is just going to get bigger. But, oh, okay, is that tomorrow? Let me look. All right, guys, we have a highly anticipated outtake coming up. The Fenelton Alania Arian reunion in the Beyond and our original reality is tomorrow. Sally and Derek meeting from Sally's point of view. The Cambridge confrontation between Oregon when they found out that he tried to rape Haley back in book 1. So we're going to see what happened when they confronted him and when they all found out. Alania and Fabian talking after Haley is born. Lucas's point of view where he gets home after being unconscious and Dylan makes him watch the video of Haley's talk with the council. Bjorn's point of view on Haley's first mission with Lexi. And then, depending on how I feel that day, there was an option for this point of view. It's either going to be Bjorn or Titus's point of view from the explosion in Ray's Takura when they're sifting through debris. And then there is a James point of view on Idel sharing her light. And there is a point of view on Titus's conversation with Alania coming up. We left one of the outtakes off there from Veronica's point of view. So that's where it's coming from. So after like Veronica goes to him and someone comes, Zader tells him that Alania is on the phone, we're going to see what they talked about. And then we have a Megan point of view on David coming to her after finding out Emmeline's not his and giving her her ultimatum. So this will get longer once August outtakes start coming in. So, I skipped my point of view the last 2 months because I'm worried you're getting overwhelmed. Absolutely don't feel the need to do that. When you get a message from me, it will ask for however many months it is that you're behind. Request away. I am not overwhelmed. I do have a lot of requests that I work through. So obviously it's August and we're still going through some July requests. It's just a little bit. Used to be able to get outtakes and fan requests put up fairly quickly. It's just taking a little longer. I love the requests, love the ideas. Do not feel the need to skip them or anything if you do not want to. I just keep a running list and I just mark them off when I do them. So not a big deal at all. We have a Rachel in one of the books. Great. I knew there was a Rachel, you guys. It would be cool to have an outtake of the babies in the womb, a bit like Who's Talking. I don't know that I would do an outtake from one of the kids while they're in. I don't know. So pumped for these outtakes. Me too. You have a Rachel. Right, that's where she is. That's who she is. Okay, thank you. I'm like, I swear someone is named Rachel. Okay. Rachel, yep. Okay. Now I know I was thinking Rachel, you guys. Isn't Rachel the one who loves Eric and raised Akira when he's a kid? Yes, she was in love with him. I'm here for all these outtakes. Can't wait. Me too. Rachel was Eric's booty call in Raised Akira. Yes, she was. Thank you for reminding me of that. I knew somebody was Rachel. I also think there's a Denise, so I'm pretty sure. There's a Denise too. Okay, cool. Request away. I saw your numbers. Jump and thought I'd let some of the newbie choose. Love you. Oh yeah, absolutely. That is something in your tier. Do not ever feel bad about requesting them. Just know that I have a list and I work through it. It's not overwhelming to me. I just put it on a list. That's how I coordinate things. I have a list and I work through them. That's what I do in my personal and professional life. Denise is Betty. That's true. Denise and Betty are the same person. So there is a Denise. Denise is Noah's mom. Yep. Guys, there's so many names running around. So many names. Sometimes I look at my husband because I have a character that I'm like, oh gosh, they need a name. And I'm like, give me a name. First one that comes off the top of your head. So obviously the main central ones all have names already. But yeah, for some of the characters that's they just have to be in the scene. I need a name. How do we know that we requested an outtake? What do you mean? How do you know that you request? I'm not sure what that means, Danielle. If you are in the $15 or higher tier, let me get the name because not everybody's in dollars. Sorry. That was presumptuous of me. Dollars. Sorry. Not everybody has dollars. Amanda, get it together. Okay, let's see. The tier that gets to request is attending fairy training lessons and above. So attending fairy training lessons, fairy princess, and fairy godmother get to request an outtake. I contact them if they haven't contacted me with an outtake request, usually the first week of the month. So that's, I think I have, but not sure. Hold on. You can message me, Danielle. We can figure it out. Do you have a board like detectives create? You need a lot of strings. Oh gosh, guys, I should do that. That would actually be a lot of fun. I have a document that is insane, kind of with all of my stuff. Is there an outtake you're waiting for someone to request? So last month, a few people did actually ask me for things off my list. That's how the outtake with the letter from Alania got written, somebody was like, they're like, what's on your list? So I would send them my top 4. That happened with 2 people. So I do have a personal list that I have. So yeah, I have my own personal list, and people have asked what off that's yeah, I think there's another one, I'm pretty sure it's but yeah, 2 people asked that, and so I got to take stuff off my own list, so that's an option too. Like I said, the fan request, it doesn't have to be an outtake or a scene. There's other stuff that if you guys have an idea of where you talk about, I'm open to that. So, but yes, I do have my own list of things. And people sometimes request off. I sent and to them I sent like 4 options, and they picked which one they liked the best. So did we run out of questions, guys? Did I answer all the questions today? It's okay if I did. But give everybody a couple minutes, see if anybody has any more questions or anything they want to talk about. But yeah, really excited about starting EJ's book. But yeah, like I said, what's about to happen is not Emmeline or Haley's fault. It's not Eric's fault. There are people at fault. I can't name who they are. But yeah, there are people at fault for what's about to go down, but it's not our core group, guys. It's not their fault. There are things that different decisions could have made. Things could have been questioned and should have been questioned, but it's still not their fault. So, yeah. Drake and Sam are not bad parents. I've seen that. They're not bad parents. People make interesting decisions when they're scared. When people are scared, you make different decisions than you would make fully sound of mind. So, yeah. Yeah. No hate for Sam and Drake. Just wait for the other side. Wait for what's coming. It's going to be, it'll be a moment like when that comes out from their side, everybody's going to be like, will they just talk to each other? Or will he still EJ? The answer is no. But yeah, so it's a communication thing. Will we find out more about Micah and the cousin going dark? Can't remember his name. It's not a cousin. Caden is Astrid's niece. He's her nephew. Guys. Caden is Aaron's son. So that's Astrid's brother. Will we find more out about Micah and Caden? Yes. Yes, we will find out more about both of them. Micah so I explained it, but I'm just going to tell everybody again, in case that explanation wasn't clear. Micah is Gunner's son. So Gunner has, and it's been talked about multiple times, Gupper. Oh my goodness, you guys. Whew. Hello. Gunner has a couple that he's had for years that he's going to have kids with. So it's not Khaleesi's child. It is this couple that he has. They're a lesbian couple that they all got together and decided they were going to co-parent and raise these kids together. That's who Micah is. He's Gunner's son. Did Aiden and Lucinda have more kids than 2 biologically? I mean, they did. They did. As we saw in Raised to Kira with Haley healing Lucinda, they had more kids. Aiden had more kids in that reality, and they did in this reality too. Like them sending out the text message for the kids not to pop unless it's an emergency. Question that. Yes, people should question that. And it's something they should communicate, and everybody will understand what I'm saying when we see Lisa's side of this. It's something that they all should have talked about but there are hurt feelings involved, and that's why it doesn't get talked about. So, but yes, it is something that we should have talked about in person. These are decisions that could have, changed a few things here and there. So, should have been talked about in person. Hurt feelings got involved, and it didn't get talked about. And should have. And everybody will understand that one day. What happened to Drake's sister plus Haley? To me, they are reacting like scared parents. They are reacting like scared parents. And Drake's sister, Allison, is part of why. She's fine. She's with her husband and mate in their pack. They stayed. The alpha son is not at all like his dad. He's a good guy, and he's best friends with her mate. So, but that does play a part in this. So Drake is scared because of what happened to Allison. So, there is that side of it. So, do we find out about Astrid's half-sister? Yes. We'll see her in this reality. Yes. In this book, not positive, but we will see her again. Yes. So, yeah, we'll see her again. In what book? I am not positive, but she wasn't just mentioned just to be mentioned. She comes around. But yeah, Sam and Drake are acting a bit like scared parents, and we see more of that, and we see more of what happened at the party. Obviously, will the kitsune come soon? Soon is a strong word. I'm not sure what you mean by soon. In this book, no. I don't know when that book is going to come, but yeah, there's a kitsune coming. When, I don't know. We'll see when I get there. But yeah, we see more of Sam and Drake's fear, and we kind of see that evolve and kind of where they go from there. Gosh, it's so hard to talk about this without revealing things where this is going. But we kind of see them go the other way a little bit, and we'll know why they do. But yeah, guys, just buckle in. That's what I have to say. Will there be more time jumps in Elise and EJ's book, or will we be seeing things at 14 for the most part? No, we're gonna jump. We're going to jump, like I said, Tuesday's chapter, there'll be 16. So we're going to jump around. Once they get, that's so, okay. Because there are things that go on. Oh my gosh, it's about to get so crazy, you guys. They'll be jumping around. There will be some chapters where they stay the same age, probably, because I don't know that I can fit that all in one update before we switch to the other point of view. Just have to see how that goes. But yeah, we'll be jumping around in their ages. They're not going to stay 14. So yeah, there's a lot coming up. A lot coming up in the next. Within this book, there's just so much coming up in this book, and then we've got some other things that will come up from Cassie's side. Like I said, I'm not sure how long Cassie's book is going to be, but there are things that need to be laid down in Cassie's book. So obviously we still have to get to it, and there's her story in of itself. I'm trying to get you to reveal. I don't know. What do you want me to reveal? That's the question. Is Eric retiring? No, as you saw, one of the realities mentioned that, I think in the epilogue of Raised to Cura, it's mentioned that he's on the council. So Nathan retires, kind of. He's still like an advisory to the council, but Eric takes his spot. So Eric doesn't really retire. He just moves on to his next gig once. And like I said, there's going to be a different way that they handle like the alphas coming on, and we'll see that. Because just like Eric, like EJ and Cassie and Alexander are, they're progressing pretty rapidly. And at 18, they could take it, but they decided to do something. They decided to do kind of a hybrid thing. So we'll see. We'll see what they decide. Does he retire? Not really. Not really. Let me know if that answered your question, Shannon. Nicole, let me know what you're trying to get me to reveal. Like going back and looking at your questions. Gotta run, thanks for being here to answer questions. See you later, Melissa. But yeah, we've just got a lot of stuff coming that's going to be, and yeah, I can't wait for people to kind of hear from Alexander once we reach that point at Elise's Luna ceremony. Obviously, it's not during the ceremony, you guys. She has her ceremony. It's fine. But it's kind of interesting to hear from his side, like what's kind of going on in his head and why some things happen the way that they do. But yeah, so it is interesting, and it's something that I haven't seen somebody like click yet, because obviously as the reader you're seeing what's going on both sides, but for him he doesn't have that. So and he doesn't, he knows what, like obviously he's friends with Jason, and Jason tells him about his sister. So it's fun to see what's going on from his side. Gosh, I'm too excited about this, you guys. Need to calm down. They're not at that stage yet. We're not to that chapter. Okay. I was wondering if EJ and Elise are going to be the new Eric and Haley. I guess I'm not ready for them to step aside. So they work together for a little bit. EJ and Elise will eventually like lead the pack. But like I said, Eric's not going anywhere. They don't travel, like they can pop in and out and go places, but he's still going to be on the Werewolf Council, so he's still around, still involved with pack stuff. Like Nathan is an advisor to Eric now, and the only reason he wasn't around fully was because they were traveling, because Cassandra wanted to travel, which the girls had like obviously strong feelings about, but it was really a good thing for the girls because while she was gone, they stepped up and they did their role and they were good at it. And they just, they got some confidence when she was away. It kind of, slowly we saw it kind of peel back when she came back and she, was the queen bee that she is. But then, when the guys all found that out, with Lexi kind of, shoving it in their face, they worked to get back on that other stuff. So, yeah. You said you're trying not to feel secrets on your minds. That's why I said that I need Dylan. Yeah, I try. Guys, I try. I still tell you guys a lot of stuff. I worry that Melanie will be in a situation like Leah, Tabitha's niece. We'll have to see. We'll have to see where her story is going. By the way, Drake and Sam are, but the way Drake and Sam are, will they leave her go away? What? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Can you clarify that for me? But yeah. So I do think it's fun once, because obviously, like at this point, EJ is 14 and he's kind of picking up some signs about Alexander. I mean, at this point, they're not signs; they're just straight like hello. But even then, it took EJ a while to figure out. But yeah, like EJ is 14 and he's got some things going on. He's thinking some things are weird. Eric straight up knows what's going on with his son. We saw that Bjorn also knows what's going on. So yeah, Alexander feels like he's keeping all this secret, but people see what's going on. They're just waiting for him to talk to them. Well, okay. Bjorn kind of knows where Alexander's head's at. They're really close. So Bjorn knows the most out of everybody. That's not how Eric knows. Bjorn is not betraying his nephew's confidence. So yeah, but there's some things, and obviously, like, EJ is seeing the sign. He's waiting for Alexander to come talk to him, but that's not going to happen until Elise's Luna ceremony. So obviously, we know that at least cannot happen until she's 18. So we know that there are 4 years of EJ just waiting for Alexander to talk to him and wondering why, one of the set of his triplets is keeping something from him like this. And we get that answer. We get that answer from Alexander of why this has been something that he's kept to himself. And I will say there's, on his side, there's a lot going on his side, but part of it is, there's some anger to it and there's some hurt to it. But we do get all of those. We do get all of that conversation. But yeah, we do get that from him. It's just, guys, I wish we were there so we could talk about it. But we're not yet. We're going to calm down. We have a lot to get through. We're going to get through it, and I'm going to find some chill. Okay. It seems to me Mel doesn't want her Xander to know yet. Is that right, or is it an outside force? No. Melanie wants to meet the Connors. She wants to meet the Lyons. She thinks fairies are cool, and she hasn't got to meet any of them. She absolutely wants to meet her Xander, as she calls him. She was distraught when she didn't get to go to their birthday party. She's upset that she has stuff that she can't meet them for. But she's still a little kid who has obviously she believes he's hers. She knows all this. So obviously, and it is hinted at very strongly from EJ's side, he knows her feelings are hurt. She was going to be there. Would she have met them? No, she wouldn't have met him. But she was going to be there until she found out that she actually didn't know Alexander was going to be there, so I should back that off. She didn't know he was going to be there, but she was going to see EJ for what she thought was the first time and meet him, because she's seen him a lot. Like, we've seen her, she's like spying on them. She's seen EJ. It's not that Melanie doesn't want to meet Alexander. She was hurt that he was going to the dance with somebody else. That's why she signed up for a dance competition, because she didn't want to see him with somebody else. Because, she's in love with him. She's in love with him. She has a crush on him. She has a wolf that she carries around. She's 9, still carrying around this wolf she's had since she was 3. It hurt her feelings that he was going to the dance with somebody. That's why she wasn't there. She didn't want to see him with somebody else. But she absolutely wants to meet him. She was devastated that her parents didn't let her go. And again, Sam and Drake didn't know it was an anniversary surprise party. They thought they were going to dinner with their kids, but it was out of their territory because Tristan made the reservation. So when Drake and Sam found out it was out of their territory, Drake didn't want her to go. And Drake had no idea that his parents were not there, that Peter and Chelsea weren't there, that a lot of the Warriors were at this party. They had absolutely no idea. So, they had absolutely no idea that the pack was going to mostly be at this party. So no, she wants to meet him. Will Sam and Drake let Melanie go away to follow dance or whatever? We'll see where that goes. We'll see if she sticks around. We'll see where her story goes. So she's obviously very close with Elise. So we follow, she's in Elise's chapters. So we'll see where her story leads. Was it an angel that found the toy on the shelf for Mel? We'll see. We shall see. But we'll see if there was any sort of thing going on with that, or if it's just straight up a toy she wanted, because she knew what she was going for. Like Sam said, she wanted a wolf. Well, she tried to give her a yellow wolf, She tried to give her a red wolf. She tried to give her a brown one. She specifically wanted a black wolf with a white chest and white paws. She specifically wanted that, and she did not want any other toy. Because, as Elise said, Melanie asked what all the Connors wolves looked like. She asked what the Lions wolves looked like too, but she cared about what Alexander's wolf looked like. So, Melanie wants to meet all of them. She thinks they're cool. She likes hearing stories about them. She loves Elise stories about all the fairy stuff that she sees. She thinks they're cool. And she's met the fairies in their pack. Shannon and Garrett's kids. She knows their kids, so she knows that they can do cool stuff. So the Connors and the Lions are kind of like, Red Run is not a pack like to turn your nose up at. They are strong. They are a strong pack, and Peter is a strong alpha. But you have like Eric and Lucas are, they're legends in the werewolf kind, and even the supernatural realm. They're legends. And then you have Haley, who is a princess. She's a double princess. And you have Emmeline, who's a duchess. Like, people want to know them. And Melanie is no exception to that. You like music and talk shows, don't you? Yes, I do. If you didn't catch the rant in the outtake on Castle and how that ended, I'm still deeply upset about that, and I could talk about that for a very long time, about how disrespectful it was to their fans that after 8 years they get canceled, and then you end it how you ended it, and then there's a montage at the end. Oh, I could go off about that for hours, you guys. It still upsets me deeply. Will Elise be a badass? I think Elise has already proven that she's a badass. Like, she was going to go take on Robert and his friends by herself, and she could. She dealt with Robert on her own. She's still an alpha. She is a badass in her own right. Like, she's an alpha. She's going to be a Luna. She could ask EJ to, she could lead her back. She could do that. She just truly feels where her destiny is. And it's being his Luna, as well as, she's an alpha. She's a strong fighter. So she could lead her back, and EJ said he would give it up for her. But she believes that their spot is at the helm of Black Mountain Pack. So, same. I love Castle. Yes, Danielle. It was so rude. So rude of them. I have never been more mad at people in my life. I'm kind of glad it didn't go where they wanted it to go, because I know that they were trying to do like a spinoff without Beckett. That's just wrong. But the montage, that's just disrespectful. Should just reach out the last episode or last scene, something other than what they did. If you can't tell by the look on my face, I was disgusted by it all. I want to see her kick some ass. We will see Elise. We will see Elise kick some butt, guys. There will be other instances. She's not wrong. She has said that she knows that people want what's hers. They do. They do. People want to be with EJ, not because they necessarily love EJ, but because he is powerful, because he is poised to take over the most powerful pack in the country. And he's going to rule the pack with his siblings, but he's the oldest one, so he'll be at the head. She's not wrong. People want what is hers. They can't have it, but they want it. And sometimes you gotta put people in their places. Sherlock, love Sherlock. If you're talking about the BBC show, love that show. Sherlock is so good. I also love the movies. Game of Thrones. Don't get me started on Game of Thrones. Don't do it. I have never. Oh, guys. Oh, what they did to Dany. Like some girl. And that's. She is one of those that just, it gets me, guys, because I have Haley, and it's I just can't imagine taking a character like Haley, who rose from the ashes of her life and the abusers in her life, to become this great leader, and then what they did to her character. You had this great female story plotline, and you could have had her in Sansa running everything, and you messed it up. You messed it up so epically for this woman who had done so much, who locked up her dragons, who she felt like were her children, because they blew fire on one child. And then just totally lose her crap because somebody doesn't want to sleep with her. Are you kidding me? It was such a slap in the face to all the badass women, all the badassery that character had done. I'm so mad. Oh, we can't talk about that. Can't talk about it because I'm gonna get so mad because it's not just her. It wasn't just Danny, but that one just Okay, we're gonna move on. What about How I Met Your... Oh my gosh, How I Met Your Mother. You guys. I still remember watching that finale with my sister. In our apartment. For an hour. I was so angry. If you haven't read it or seen it, you're going to have to click off. Don't watch me talk about it. I should have said that before I talked about Game of Thrones. Don't watch me talk about this. Okay. We have an entire season of a build-up for a wedding, and they get divorced in like 2 seconds. Are you kidding me? Because let's be blunt, those characters are perfect for each other. Ted is the worst character of all time. If you go back and watch that movie, he's horrible. He's a horrible, pathetic human being, and I despise him from my very core because what his character did was love Robin the entire show, try to ruin his relationship, and undermines Barney and Robin several times. And still, people are like, oh, he's this great friend. He's a horrible friend, straight up, to Robin and Barney. They were perfect together, like how their arcs came together, and then we totally regressed Barney's character back to the beginning. And he's the best part of the show. Still the best part of the show. But what irks me about that show to no end is what we did to Robin. Robin, the career-driven, didn't need to be married, didn't want to do that, and good for her. Good for her, she stuck to her guns. Then we have Ted, who loved her this whole time, had his kids with somebody else because Robin couldn't have kids. Ted totally wanted to give up on Robin after that, and Barney didn't care. And Ted cared, and that's fine. If you want kids, you want kids, and if that's a deal breaker for you, okay. But those two characters don't get to end up together after you have your kids with somebody else and then she dies, because if I was his kid, I'd be like, screw you, Dad. You didn't even want Mom. You wanted Robin. That's what this whole, so angry. I'm so angry they ended up together. I'm so pissed. They're Ted got to go off and live his, dream life, and they turned Robin's life into, this horrible thing because she picked her career. And it's no, there are plenty of badass, successful women who choose their career, and you know what? They're happy. She could be happy. She could be happy having her life, not waiting on Ted to come show up with a blue French horn. Who gives a crap about a blue French horn? She got to travel. She got to go around. She lived her dream, and she should have been happy. Ted is a jerk. And I hate him. From my core. Okay. Pushing daisies. I don't give me pushing daisies. You guys. I do love that EJ and Elise, that she will be Luna and Alpha. He was raised right. EJ was raised right. That was always going to be something that he offered to do it, and it might not be the only time that he offers. Because he was raised right, he's considering her feelings and how she feels. We're going to calm down. How I Met Your Mother, guys, it gets me. I hate Ted. I hate him. He's horrible. If you rewatch the show and you just watch what he does to people, he's awful, and he's whiny, and I hate him. Pushing Daisies was horrible, too. Game of Thrones screw up. They just epically screwed up everything with that. Even Jon Snow's arc. Seriously, he ends up back. He is supposed to be... No. Not talking about Game of Thrones. They ruined it, and George R.R. Martin is a jerk for not finishing the series because apparently those two guys can't write without source material. Okay. Choose one. Or any you liked more. From this list, I loved Sherlock. I love Suits. Friends, I love watching Friends, but what they did with some of the characters, I didn't really like. They did give it a good ending, though. No one can argue that Friends got a good ending. They did. They did. So, yeah. Jon Snow to everything. I don't want it. Jon Snow. Oh gosh. I'm telling you, I read some, like a screenwriter did, like how the ending of that should have gone, and I like was applauding. It was fabulous. That guy had it right. Do Elise and EJ have their mating ceremony as soon as they are 18? We'll see what they do when they're 18. Alexandra and guys, I keep saying the wrong people's names. EJ and Elise know like that they're it for each other, so they are waiting for her to turn 18 so that she can move to the pack and everything. So we'll see what they choose to do. But I think it's clear at this point which side of himself EJ favors, and that's his wolf. So let me know if that's not clear, but that is the side of him that he kind of favors. So, and that's different for all the kids. So like there's some where they truly are a blend of what they favor. But yeah, I think EJ, it's very clear that he favors his wolf and his wolf side. Still, obviously, he's a good fighter. Bjorn has said that. And Bjorn doesn't label people that for just no reason. So he does favor his Secura side, and he does favor his fairy side. But most what shines through in him is his wolf. But yeah, and we see that differently because like Alexander is a fun like dichotomy of his different sides that he has, because obviously he is a skilled fighter, but that's both his wolf and Hakura side shining through, and even his fairy side. Fairies are very good at fighting physically. So it's kind of like all three of those sides combined for him with that, and he's just got this like serious set of fighting skills because the Fae are formidable when they fight. I think it's been said in one of the books they kind of lean on their powers, and so they've kind of gotten away from that. But like Aiden is a fierce fighter without his powers. Arian is also. So yeah, so Alexander's just like got like that gene from all three sides, and it's part of that's why he's so good at fighting, is because like that's shining through with all three sides of him. So that's, yeah. But it's fun to see with the kids, like we'll see their mischievous sides and when their fairy side shines through and when that's favored. So it's fun. It's fun with them for that. But yeah. Can't talk about other shows and how mad I get about how they end. Wish there was some fairy magic to bring Arian back. Do you regret his first storyline after writing Raised to Care? No, I don't. I don't regret it because his storyline in our original reality really just highlights in the ribbon like how it was supposed to be. His storyline went how it went, and we've seen like what plunged him into those choices. And honestly, from the moment he took Haley, which is the only way it would have worked. Like the only way it would have worked was for Arian to betray her, to get her to Damon. Because as you saw, she legitimately was going to make it. If he wasn't there, she would have made it to her treehouse. She would have been fine. That's the only way that comes about. So I don't regret his storyline. That's not to say you're not going to see him in these books. So he regrets what he does and what he did. He regrets it. But that's not to say that we're not going to see him. So, and see that he does regret that. You guys have seen that in the outtakes, but for the larger group, I'm not sure that they have totally seen that. But they will. They will. Well, we see more of how Arian helps Haley from the beyond. Maybe not just her. So there's some things that get explained, and we'll see. But we do see him again, and we know that he's helping her. We know that he's helping her. He's protecting her from Fabian, as he should have all along. So that's part of what he does from the beyond. So a big part of it is keeping Fabian from Haley. Can the living fairies choose to go to the beyond? That is an excellent question. They can make themselves susceptible to being pulled. Can they just go to the beyond? No. But they have mental defenses that they can lower to, if somebody's trying to call them, that they can go. So I haven't watched How I Met Your Mother yet, but the way you say about that guy, I think he would be similar to Lord Baelish of Game of Thrones. I really don't know a similar thing for Ted. I really don't know. He's like so whinily obnoxious. And he's a horrible friend. Gosh. Do you know what book you're going to write after the triplets? I don't. I'm not sure if I will take a break from our original reality and go back into a ribbon after the triplets books are done, or if I'm going to go straight into Keaton's book. So we'll have to see. We will have to see. If Fabian calls one of the kids, that wouldn't go well for him, and he should know that. That would go really badly. Because as we've seen, like in the outtakes, Haley has her powers when she's there. You can't kill him again, but they could do some serious damage and cause him a lot of pain. It would be a bad idea. That's Chase and Lexi's kid, Keaton. Yes, Keaton is Lexi and Chase's son. He is in book 3, guys. He's in book 3. She meets him in that kind of like alternate, like when they're in that fairy sensor deprivation tank. She meets Keaton and Keith, and she is pregnant with Keaton and Keith at the end of her epilogue. Do you have an outtake on your list for the quad shifting for the first time? I can see Lucas losing his shit, Dylan laughing after the triplets first shift. I don't have that on my list, and it hasn't been requested. But yes, that scene is actually pretty funny. Yeah. But yeah, Keaton is Lexi and Chase's son. So we know who Emmett's mate is, and we know who Emma's mate is. So, but Keaton and Keith are the next set of twins that Lexi and Chase had. They actually had quite a bit of time in between their first set of kids and their second. But yeah, it was, I believe Lexi's epilogue was 6 years after, and that's when she's pregnant with them. So the triplets were 7 in that epilogue, and she's pregnant. So by now he's born at this point. Do all of the children do all of the children of the wolf/fairy mates have wolves at birth? Yes. All of the ones that are related to Haley and Aiden. So anyone part of their family does. Who's Melinda's mate? Why did it seem like she may be Alexander's mate in the first couple of chapters? I'm not going to tell you who her mate is, and I'm not going to tell you why. I'm not going to answer that question. And I would think we don't know that she's not. We don't know that she's not his mate. So we don't know her mate. We don't know that it's not Alexander. We don't know that it is. We don't know yet. So. We know they haven't met. So, but we also know that Emmeline had met her when the triplets were 7. And we know that Emmeline said that she hadn't met his mate, and she can't lie. So that's what we know. I really hope it's Melanie, but it's your story. We'll see. We'll see who it is. Obviously, we have his story coming up. And yeah. They're massive, hints. So ask your questions. I got to jump off here in 2 minutes and go get my son. But yeah, we're obviously weaving the thread. I think it's clear that we are weaving and laying down hints. Has there been foreshadowing for Keaton's story? Oh my gosh, yes. There have been a lot of foreshadowing for Keaton's story, guys. But yeah, I've been laying hints and weaving things for both Keaton and Alexander's stories. Obviously, at this point, Alexander's is weaving in there pretty heavily, and probably a bit more obviously for his story. I did think Melinda was Keaton's mate. We'll see. Couple people, I've seen several people thinking that. But yes, there are foreshadows for Alexander and Keaton's. To me, Keaton's are obvious because I know Keaton's story. So, yeah, I'll just say that there has been foreshadowing for several books for Keaton's. Actually, both of them. There have been foreshadowing for several books for both of them. Once, it's one of those things where once it comes out, like if you reread the books, you're like, oh, this is so like clear. This is a clear hint. Whereas now it's like, it makes no sense, and it only makes sense to me. So, if I'm not mistaken, you told us that his mate and Alexander's mate were close. No. That was said to Miley. That was said about Miley and Haley's kids' mates. But no, it might have been said about all of them. All of them are close. Yeah, it might have been said about all of them. Yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah. What was said? Okay, there were different things said about Keaton's mate. If you go back and look at what is said. So it's said that they look up to one of Haley's kids' mates. Keaton's mate looks up to one of the mates of Haley's kids. I guess keep trying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what's said. They are close. They are close. Which one power of Tony Stark's would I want to have? Well, Tony Stark has a suit that has powers, so I would just want the suit. I totally missed them. Totally missed what? Exactly, Miley's son. Yeah. So, yeah. Go back and read the psychic predictions that aren't really psychic because he's an angel. Keaton drops. Oh yeah, there are lots of guys. Once that book's come out, you'll know what I'm talking about for like the track being laid down for his. But there's so many like little things that have been said to a specific group of people that lay down the hints. But I've got to get going. Love talking with you guys. Love chatting. Gosh, we talked for a long time today. See, I have no chill. Okay. I will talk to you guys next week. Buckle yourselves in for the information that is coming this week, guys. You have my permission. Anybody you see coming at Emmeline or Haley, you have my permission to just go ahead and knock that down. I'm not going to stand for that. You guys don't have to either. You guys have a good week. We will chat next week. I'm sure everybody's going to be like, so yeah, have a good week, guys, and just mentally prepare yourself for that. And, yelling at characters for, not communicating well. Darn their feelings. But yeah, have a good week, guys.